Martha Vertus Pearson was born in 1935 in Dadeville, Alabama. She was born to Sarah Jane Vertus McGinty and John Yule Pearson, and is the youngest of their 6 children, who are Bubba, Jane, Jim, Mary, Frank, and little Martha, or Poppy, as they called her when she was young. Martha came from a close-knit family where everyone helped each other and shared what they had. Martha's earliest memories included playing dress-up in the attic of the old family house with clothes passed down from her 2 older sisters, Jane and Mary. She remembers riding in the basket of her brother Bubba's bicycle on the way to Sunday school. She shared a room with her Aunt Biwa, who lived in the house during the summer. Aunt Biwa would often fall asleep while telling Martha a bedtime story, and Martha would poke her to find out how the story ended. Martha loved school. Her first grade teacher was her first cousin, Myra McIntosh, and all of her grammar school teachers knew her because they had taught her older siblings. When there was not enough room in the high school, her 8th grade class was taught in a cow barn. As a member of the Beta Club, Martha took a senior trip to Washington, D.C. The club members raised money for their trip by sharing a newspaper delivery route that required her to throw papers at 5 a.m. before school. They threw papers for an entire year to make money for the trip. Martha certainly had a mischievous side because they frequently tried to land papers on the roof of the house instead of each customer's porch. She remembers always being able to hit the roof of the Treadwell's house. Martha had lots of close friends from school, many of which became lifelong friends. Nancy Carlisle, Jane Ann Hall, Shirley Willis, Tiny Parkman, Edna Finch, Joyce Smith, Hesper Claybrook, Elizabeth Corprew, Jimmy McIntosh, David Greer, and Alton Wallace are all just a few of the friends from school. When she graduated from high school, Martha wanted to go to Jacksonville State College with all of her friends, but her mother said no. All of her brothers and sisters went to Auburn, and that's where her mother wanted her to go too. Martha would have to live at home and ride with her siblings to and from Auburn. So she enrolled in Auburn, and her brother Frank became her chauffeur. While she was in school at Auburn, one of Martha's professors told her that if she would go on a date with his younger brother who was just home from the Navy, he would give her an A. Martha went. She says that's the easiest A she ever got. Martha got her degree in elementary education from Auburn and decided she wanted a job in Florida. Her mother and father drove her to Pensacola for a job interview. On the way home, her father said, "Martha, you are not going to Pensacola. You will go down there and meet one of those Navy boys, and no telling where you will end up. You are not going there." Then he said, "We'll drive through Crestview, Florida, and see what that's like." Martha then had an interview with the superintendent of education that very same day and was hired to teach first grade in Crestview. She held that job for 2 years. A lot of students were only 5 years old, and she described it as being like a nursery. Some of the children had sore feet because they had to wear shoes that were too small. She said one boy cried every day because of that. So she would take off his shoes every morning, and he became a happy boy. Martha married Guy Douglas Perry on July 20th, 1958. Her sister Jane was her matron of honor, and her sister Mary was her maid of honor. Martha Woolley and Jane Ann Hall were bridesmaids.
Okay,
Okay. Dad, tell me how you met Mom. Tell me your love story.
Well, I am convinced without a young that God meant for Martha and I to be together. He wanted to go to Jacksonville State with her friends. Her mother said, "No, you're going to Auburn." She commuted, and Jim agreed to pay 1/4 for her to live on campus. The college put her with a girl from Hirschboro. That was her roommate. Well, her roommate called me one weekend and said, "Are you going home this weekend?" I said, "Yeah, gotta go home so Mama can wash my clothes." And he said, "Well, my roommate, I'm taking her to Hirschboro. I want you to date her." And I thought, Lord, no. Helen was a good girl, but she wasn't what I would think. And I associated her roommate with her. But I had already told her that I was going home, so I said, "Well, I'll do it," because Helen wanted to date Ray. And we went to a fish fry, and the first time I saw laid eyes on Martha, I thought, Lord, he is the most beautiful, talented, lovely girl I've ever met. And I am convinced in my own mind that if Martha had married somebody else, I'd be here today by myself. I dated a lot of girls in Hirschboro. I dated a lot of girls when I was in the Air Force, but none of them clicked. And I even dated a couple of German girls. None didn't click. And I am convinced, I really am convinced, God played a part in Martha and I being there, because I was smitten the first time I saw her. He was. I was going to college for one thing, she was going for another. She wanted to go dancing, I wanted to go to the library. And when I graduated, I was 2 years ahead of her when I graduated. I went in, my first job was at Westinghouse in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And then I went into the airport. Well, I lost complete contact with Martha. For 2 years, I had no contact whatsoever. And I was at Perrin Air Force Base going through F-86D school and had to go to Tyndall for gunnery. And on the way to Tyndall, I went by Hirschboro. Just so happened that Helen then lived in Florida, but she was in Hirschboro that weekend and was out in the front yard of her house. And as I was walking to town to Daddy's store, Helen, I stopped and we were chit-chatting, and in the course of the conversation, I said, "Oh, by the way, whatever happened to Martha Pearson?" He said, "Well, she teaches school in Crestview. Do you want her phone number?" I said, "No, I guess not." But she gave it to me anyway. Well, at Tyndall, I was there for a month of gunnery. And the last week that I was there, I thought, by God, she's impressed you. I don't think I will call her. So I got a phone number, and she answered the phone, and I said, Martha, this is Guy Perry. Do you remember me? He said, yeah. And I said, well, I'm on the way to Germany, and I'm in the airport on the way to Germany. Are you going to be in there? He said, yes, you are. And I said, well, I'd like to take you out to dinner. He said, okay. So on that date, we went to out and had dinner, and Martha claimed that I had changed, that I was kind of a man about town. I was different. And then for 2 weeks, every night I went to dated, went home. And when I got ready to go to Germany, I said, Martha, I want to give you my return pen. She said, no. She said, I am David, a boy from Crestview. And I thought, Lord have mercy. I'm going to be in Germany for a year and she's dating somebody in Crestview. So when I get back, she'll be married. Well, I did write her a letter. Pure vanilla. And she answered, pure vanilla. And we went that way for a while. And when I came back to the United States from Germany, I was convinced that she would have been married. I didn't realize it. And we got to dating again, and I had met her family, and I wanted her to meet my family. So we spent 1 weekend in Atlanta, off of Marietta, with Pat and his family. And Dolores. Dolores was sometimes she was outspoken. And we were sitting around the table that Saturday morning, and Dolores said, well, when are y'all getting married? And I thought, oh, Lord, don't bring that up. So I'm trying to be cool as cucumber. And your mama mentioned, I'm thinking July. And I thought, in 1 moment, I went from being a single person to being engaged, and the date was set. And I never realized. And we have 67 beautiful years. We didn't have a lot of money. We had a lot of fish sticks, a lot of hot dogs, but we were happy. And every night before we went to bed, I said, Martha, I love you. Every night. And I don't remember a time that we had disagreements, but every night before we went to bed, went to sleep, we resolved it, and we went to bed happy. And I cannot imagine spending my life with anybody with Martha. She's the light of my life.
What do you want to say to her on the 90th birthday?
I want to say, honey, I do love you. I love you so much. Although you're 90 years old, you're still the most beautiful person I've ever met. You really are.
Mom.
Happy birthday, Mom.
Happy birthday, Mom. We love you.
Y'all cut your bread and your potato chip bags when they get to, like you,
Sometimes.
yeah, we all cut
Yeah.
the top of the bread bag and the potato chip bag.
Yeah. I'm a list maker. I leave notes for myself and make lists.
Yeah, I make lists.
Well, what about paper towels? What about like leaving the paper towel, like doing a little wipe and then leaving a little crumpled paper towel?
No, I don't do that.
I don't do that. I'll throw it away.
Yeah. I have started carrying Kleenex in my pocket.
I do find myself doing.
I think we all have.
Yeah, she has a really green thumb.
Well, a memory that I have is coming home from school. I guess it must have been around May, and she would have a gardenia
Mm-hmm.
in the kitchen, and it just would. That smell reminds me of gardenias. Mom was always really good to like read stories to grandchildren. Like always took the time to do that. Kind of sneak away and read them a story.
Or bake cookies.
Mm-hmm. She's Martha, Mott, Mimi, grandmother, Mutter. In her younger days, she was Poppy.
She's now Gigi.
Gigi. Oh, peach pie.
Salmon croquettes.
Mm-hmm. Brunswick stew.
Oh, Brunswick stew, yeah. She has an awesome Brunswick stew recipe.
Yeah. She's always been a good soup maker.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, good soup. I mean, I always liked her salmon croquettes, mashed potatoes, and English peas, and I have carried that tradition on.
I love her Brunswick stew. I love it. I think it is the best Brunswick stew I have ever had. I've never had a recipe top it.
I always liked her hot fudge cake.
Hot fudge cake. How can I forget that? Oh my gosh. So it was chocolate cake with vanilla ice cream, and then another piece of chocolate cake,
Devil's food cake.
devil's food cake, and then this scrumptious, sugary, because you could taste the granules of sugar in it.
Chocolates.
It's chocolate sauce.
2 sticks of butter, 2 cups of sugar, and 2 lumps of chocolate. And you melt all that together.
Oh my gosh.
It's
And
not-
we used,
it's
me
not
and Sue
difficult.
used to have that for breakfast.
And Jude thought it was gravy one time.
Jude came over and thought that the chocolate sauce was gravy and was complimenting Mom on how smooth it was.
And poured it all over her mashed potatoes.
She used to take us to the library, and I loved that library trip, and I always did that for my kids. Took them to the library. Like, we'd go to the pool, go to the library, go home, eat a sandwich, and then read a library book, and then take a nap. And she did that for me.
I remember when I was little and y'all were in school, and when y'all would leave for school, I would go down and sit with her at the breakfast table. And she would have a robe on, and she would be drinking her hot tea with lemon, and she'd be reading the newspaper. And I would crawl up on her lap and like lay my head on her chest. So when she would drink her hot tea, I could like hear it going down. That's a good scheme.
Oh, I remember one thing when I was a junior in high school and I tried out for cheerleader. And I remember when I made it and I came home and our mailbox she had decorated with like all the Grissom like colors, you know.
Oh, that was sweet.
I know, that was sweet.
Very
Oh,
sweet.
Yeah.
Oh, that was very nice. She did that for me.
That was fun.
You were special.
And I remember she always took me to the horseback riding lessons. You know, she always would go to Gurley.
Oh my
to
gosh,
horse
she had to go to Gurley?
to take me to horseback riding lessons. That's a
She
lot.
is a saint. She is a saint.
Dear Martha, I just want to say happy birthday. I think I can speak on behalf of all three of your sons-in-law in saying you are an incredible mother-in-law. I think the Lord has blessed us with probably the greatest mother-in-law in the world. I want to say some things I've observed over the years that you might have thought have gone unnoticed, but anytime we come to the lake house, have come to your home, you always make our families feel very welcome. You go out of your way. I think you miss some sleep, even in all of that, in making sure we're comfortable, in making special foods, and you have really been an incredible mother-in-law. We feel loved, and we certainly love you. Thank you for raising your daughters to be our wives, and for imparting some of your skills and how you take care of other people that I see in them. So thank you again for being a wonderful mother-in-law, and we wish you a very, very happy birthday.
Happy birthday, grandmother. I'm so excited to celebrate you today. Thank you for always giving us a place to come and be together and be family. You always kept us well fed and had a place for us to come and be together and bring friends and be with cousins. I think of all of my memories with you, probably my favorite one would be right after my first baby was born, and I didn't know if it was going to be a little boy or a little girl or what their name would be, but as soon as I met Pearson, I knew his name would be Pearson, and you were the first person I called from the hospital to let you know that Pearson would be your namesake, and he wears it well. He's just as sweet as you are and as kind and thoughtful as you are, and you've always made family so important, and that hopefully is reflected in each of us, learning that from you. So I love you, happy birthday, and I can't wait to celebrate with you.
Hey Martha, happy 90th birthday. We love you tons. We could not be more grateful for you and all the great ways you love on us all the time. Love you.
Okay.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Gigi.
Hey Mother, happy birthday. I hope it's the best one yet, and I love you so much.
Happy birthday. Yay.
Can you blow a kiss?
Mott here is wishing you the best, biggest birthday ever. Buon compleanno. Many more.
Happy birthday, Grandma. Hope you have a great day.
Happy birthday, Gigi. I hope you have a good day.
Hey grandmother, just wanted to wish you a happy birthday. It was great seeing you this past weekend, and I look forward to the party coming up in August. Happy birthday.
Hey Mimi, happy 90th birthday. It's a great accomplishment. 90 years is a long time. It's a great new high schooler. I really wanted to wish you a happy birthday, and I know you'll be surrounded by family that loves you a lot. And I'm sorry I can't be there. And Lori also wishes you a happy birthday, but she is in Italy right now, so she can't say it herself. But I really wish we could both be there too. We loved it when we were there not long ago, having some really delicious peaches and everything. And I just hope you have a beautiful day. Happy birthday.
Hey Mother, happy birthday. I love you so much. I love being able to go to the lake and hang out with you and do all kinds of different recipes. Your sweet potato pie recipe is still my favorite, and I make it every year for Thanksgiving with all my friends. Happy birthday, I love you so much.
Happy birthday, grandmother. I can't believe you're 90. We've loved getting to be with you this summer. We can't wait to be down at the lake to celebrate with you for your 90th birthday. We love you so much.
See you soon.
Bye.